we're living in a black hole economy. Now, I've said it so many times in other videos and live streams over the past year or so, and I said we need to be getting them with all the money, the ones who are hoarding the money, the ones who are excessively rich, to start spending the money, because they're just sitting on it. Whether it be in the form of actual cash in the bank, or, or just zeros and ones, or in the form of assets. Because what do the rich do when they've got money? They spend it on more assets. That's just that money just sitting there again. It's not actually really entering the economy. And what happens when we have a recession, which we will have a recession this year. I have got no doubt in my mind there's going to be a pretty severe recession this year, and it's going to be tough. And what are the rich going to do? Especially the super rich, they are going to buy up all the assets. Anything that's left, they're going to buy it up because they've got excessive amounts of money now. Look at the state of Elon Musk's bank account. He could buy, the United Kingdom. Our economy is so short, what else is he going to do with his money? Why not? Could be better than Greenland, isn't it? Well, there you go. Anyway, happy people, the like button, and maybe subscribe to the channel. And maybe, if you want to, support us on Patreon or buy us coffee. And I'll try and share as much of what I learn as I possibly can. Because we're all learning. For me, I've kind of stumbled into this because of Brexit, and it really, it damaged me and my family. And as such, all of a sudden I had an interest. Never really paid much attention to politics before, but now bloody hell is part of my life now, unfortunately. It's for what good it does me. Now, the thing is, you see, I was watching video. I don't often watch other people's videos these days because I do so much research and on other stuff, you don't have time. And videos take too long, to get through. But I was watching Richard T. Murphy, and it struck a note, it did, because he just basically repeated what I've been saying. And is that we have to get the excessively rich in society, well, they're not really in society because they're in their own little world, aren't they, to start spending the money. It is no good them just constantly investing it in assets so they can make more money on interest or people paying rents, or etc, etc, etc. No, because that is still dead money. We need to get them to spend it so it works its way down. If there is such a thing as a trickle-down economy, which I don't think there is, it never pans out, but we need them to spend a certain proportion of their money. Otherwise, tax the bloody hell out of them, quite frankly. And I don't care what the outcome of that would be. And they say, they'll all leave. No, they won't. That's bollocks. If they say a market in the United Kingdom and there's a profit to be made, they will still operate in the United Kingdom. And practically anywhere, quite frankly. They've got no choice. What other major economies have they got? You've got some up-and-coming growing economies like China and places like that, but that's dubious, isn't it? In the case of war, what do you think they're going to do to your assets in China? They will, they'll put sanctions on it. Just like we did on Russian assets and Russian oligarchs when they invaded Ukraine. So that isn't safe, investing in Russia and China and places like that. They're dubious. Safe bets are Western economies, which you might have a recession, but what happens is at the end of the day, it's a promise to pay. You'll always get your money back at some point, unless the country will go completely utterly bankrupt. That won't happen. If that ever did get to that stage, we'd just end up printing more money. We'd have no choice. Yes, we'd end up with inflation and we'd devalue the pound. But it's either that or going bankrupt. I don't know how that pans out for a country. What are you going to do? Sell the country to Donald Trump? What's the United States going to do? They're going to sell it to China? I don't know. I don't know what they could do, though. Which would be really good for California, I think. I think they need to cede California to Canada. I don't know what you call it. Could you call it Canada? I don't know. But they deserve to get out of that flipping rat hole so they can actually keep hold of their own money. Just like flipping Scotland needs to keep hold of their own money. All this flipping bullshit about deficits. Oh crikey, apparently, us in England, we have to subsidise Scotland. It's not true. It is not true. Not in the slightest. That's what they want you to believe. People, eh? But anyway, there's been consecutive governments and they're going to carry on doing it. That they are. No matter who's in. Because, no one wants to admit that Scotland would do quite well on its own, actually. And they'd still trade with the United Kingdom, vice versa. They'd do fine. The only difficulty I can see is the border, especially if they want to rejoin the European Union or join the European Union. So, anyway, that's a mess. And this circular economy, this insular economy, is being separated from basically the rich at the top there, right? Sucking all the money up, just like a black hole, all right? They're drawing it all in, sucking it in, it's like a magnet. And it's just literally a black hole, drawing all the money in. You see, these fixed assets are constantly making money by doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they're not actually giving the likes of, the plumber, the builder, and the candlestick maker, I don't know, argument's sake, is the money isn't getting in their hands when it's that far up. No. And besides, in the relationship to the amount of money that's being invested that way, it's the amount of maintenance that's being done is minuscule. The state of some of these rental properties. And then obviously they buy land, they just sell it. They don't even farm it half the time. They might occasionally rent it to a farmer or whoever, but quite often they just sit on it. Now you look at the housing developments, they just sit on the land until they're ready to build on it. And they'll build on it, not necessarily when they get planning, they'll build on it when the market is right. Even if they get planning, they'll still wait until the market is right, because they will get the highest price possible for their houses. It's just how it is. Oh, I know for facts, I've worked in the industry, so... But, it's this allowing these overly or excessively rich billionaires, and it won't be long for the trillionaires, to get richer and richer and richer off our backs. Remember that, it's your money. Eventually, there will be no money for you, because all the money will be held in this black hole economy, which is basically the rich, because they've bled you dry. So unless we have enough growth to compensate, and that's kind of what we've been having, to be fair, we had artificial growth because interest rates were held low for too long. That was a massive mistake since austerity. Holding that interest rate down was madness. It made it look like the economy's doing well because it encourages people to buy homes and stuff like that and borrow money to spend money. But that is disastrous. All it's done is make it so people have got a huge amount of debt. And debt for the ordinary folk isn't good. If you're clever, if you are somebody who invests with debt, using debt to invest, in lots of people do, and they make huge amounts of money by investing with debt, well, they can afford to, because they've got enough residual to be able to protect themselves. You probably haven't. You lose your home and everything else that's in it, and probably your marriage and what have you. We should avoid debt like the plague. The only debt you should even consider, well, two debts really, I suppose. There's large purchases, like your car, but there again you could leasehold that, and your house. I don't reckon people should be renting properties, because all that means is you're giving the rich more money. I think you should be buying your own homes. I think you need to get your foot on that ladder, and then you've got something that you can actually help your own children get their foot on the ladder in the future. You've got that asset that you can borrow against, or you can just allow them to have it when you peg it. Right? But it's to me it's a no-brainer. We need to somehow encourage them to spend the money, or legislate so they can't hold that amount of money. We've got to restrict the amount of money that they can actually send out of the country and put in these foreign companies, or foreign bank accounts, or investing abroad, because that's what they do as well. invest in companies abroad instead of investing the money that they're earning in the country in more industry, more business in the country. They can increase their own wealth that way. But at least then you have movement of the money. You know, if it's just sitting there doing nothing, not making anyone's lives better, it's not even making their lives better, to be honest. They just got this thing about this fear of, I suppose, it's something that Richard Murphy was saying. He's saying that they got this fear of not having the money. It becomes a part of their status, about how much money they have got. They don't need it. It's just all part of the status. You see, you and I, we spend a massive proportion of what we earn, in some cases 100%. It all disappears every month. And for people like that, it doesn't even dent them, because the amount they're spending is less than the interest they get coming in, or the rents and all the other stuff, monies that they're earning. It just compensates their spend. In fact, they just keep making more and more and more. While that's going on, you're going to get poorer and poorer and poorer. This is not just in the United Kingdom, it's not just in the US, this is going on around the world. Especially in the Western world, you know. The rich just get richer, and the poor just get poorer, and the divide just becomes wider. And if we don't stand up against this, you know, stand up and fight! And if you stand up and fight, the person standing beside you, who's already standing, will stand up and fight. Who am I referencing? Oh dear, bloody idiots. Anyway, I couldn't resist. Oh, look at her, little Pandora. Oh, you found a treat, did you? There's a treat in the car, you know. Oh, do you want a treat, do you? Okay. Well, treat for Dora, Pandora's treat. What will you bear? What's the back? Oh, stop nudging my pocket. Oh dear. Anyway, shall we make our way back to the car? Oh, I think we should. Yeah? Oh dear, look at the rain we've had, look. Everywhere's flooded. It's stopped now for the moment, but it's flipping cold. But the skies are blue, so I don't mind. Yeah, give it a sun and what have you. But anyway, let me know what you think regarding this, because I don't know how we're going to do it, but somehow, I can't remember what they said now. I need to go through all the comments of a previous video. But someone actually had a really brilliant idea. If that was you, can you actually put it in the comment again, so I can make a note of it this time? But that was actually quite a really sensible idea. I could see it working. It was a way of like a form of legislation, and you know, against those who have got too much money. And it's not like just high taxes and stuff like that, you know, or wealth taxes, which is another good idea, you know, for those who have got excessive amounts of money. We need to have another, like, I don't know, New Deal or whatever, you know, what was going on between the, from the 30s right up until Margaret Thatcher started bastardising everything. You know, that's what we need. We need major house building programmes for ordinary people, some housing, you know. And yes, I do believe in modular housing. Someone said, oh, have modular houses. There's modular houses and modular houses. Here they basically say, no, they're not built very well. But there are going to be companies out there that shit. But also, there's going to be companies out there that are pretty damn good, you know. And if I would personally, I'd edge on the side of quality, because you know what, it takes as long to do a good job as it does to do a bad job, or vice versa. It just does, you know. A lot of it is just it's laziness or no precision in their own. Oh, they've got poor abilities and stuff. And just all that'll do. They've got passion in that, you know. You know, if you're a creative, whether you're a builder, plumber, and what have you, having a bit of pride in your work means a hell of a lot, you know. It really does. And for me, it's my woodwork, you know. I have a lot of pride in what I create, even if it's out of absolute nothing, a piece of old shit and what have you, not literally poop, but yeah, crappy wood, you know. I do the best I can to make it better than what it is, you know. And it's a great bit of timber, I'll put a lot of care into it. And that's kind of what's missing these days. And do you know what I blame for that? I blame this mentality of being put upon us through digitization. You know, over the years, you know, we used to, like music, argument's sake, music, and I'm not talking about the music itself, I'm talking about the way we play it. We used to all crank up the speakers and you know, vinyl and all that, and purity of sound. Oh, it's fantastic and all that. And then we had tapes. That was a bit of degradation. And then you got CDs become over digitised. And now we just have MP3s and that. And people are playing these things on their mobile phones, not even with blinking speakers or headphones half the time. And I think to myself, have you got no eardrums? You know, it sounds awful, tinny. You know, playing music through their laptops and, oh, it's just awful. You know, I mean, you know, my hearing's pretty darn good, you know. I've got a fairly, it's slow to respond, but once it's responded, it's pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to put a couple of the dogs in the car. Do you want a treat? Would you like one of these little broken bones? Anyway, come in the car, you guys, and I'll give you another treat. And then we'll go home and put the heater on and get warm. Because although it's sunny, it's... Oh, well done, Sebastian, you did it. Yeah. They got in. They did, yeah. They're good fellas, they are, and girls. So anyway, let me know what you think. Please leave it in the comments down below. Let me know if you follow Richard J. Murphy. He can be a bit boring at times, but he is actually pretty good, to be fair. The information he gives is good. I warn you, he is pretty left. Some of his ideas I don't agree with, but I think he's bang on that one, because I agree with him. And I've been saying for ages. So anyway, let us know in the comments down below, but also if you want to beat the old like button, it'd be much appreciated, it really would. And if you've got to support the channel, do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and you know, it keeps the channel afloat, doesn't it, you know, get our head above water so we can carry on doing it. It's like anyone in this game, you know, it's not easy these days. And it's a constant learning process. But crikey, I can hear those dogs. Must be a chasse or something up there. I can hear about 30 dogs. Must be a chasse. Okay, never mind. Anyway, they get in the car and hide, just to get to come to get me. Right? I look like a bit like an animal. I do. As someone said, badger. Anyway, well, badger's black and white anyway. Or beaver. No, beaver. Not that beaver. Crikey, you saucy devil. Oh, no, none of that lark. No. Oh, blimey. Next thing you'll be asking me to do is suckle on Donald Trump's chocolate starfish. No, I'm not doing that either. No. Anyway, after that, you're probably going to unlike, aren't you? Toodaloo. Have a lovely day. Oh, shit. I didn't press the right button.